Great to have all of you all out here today with me as we walk through this decision process of crowdfunding and payment gateways on your side. What is the best option? When to use what? How do you decide? Right. So let's jump straight into this issue, and I'm going to share my screen so that we can start off immediately. Right. So that's the topic for today. Do you use crowdfunding platforms or do you use payment gateways on your site? What is it that you use? Right. And how many of y'all think that this is, have had this dilemma of when to use a crowdfunding platform, when to use a payment gateway, to use or not to use both? How many of y'all have had this dilemma? How many of y'all have used this? Let us try and understand this better and kick this off with our first poll. I'm just going to launch this poll for all of you all. So if you can take just a quick 10 seconds and answer this, will start giving us a sense of what our audience is about. Great. We'll just give another 10 seconds for the rest of people to answer this. Okay, great. So all of y'all have websites. That's fantastic to know. Almost everyone has a website. We hope it's updated as well. 67% of y'all also have a payment gateway on your site, and about 62% of y'all have also used a crowdfunding platform. So that's great. I think we have most of y'all have used crowdfunding platforms. You'll have a payment gateway. I think the key question that we would want to answer out here today is say when to use what. Uh, and the best part of this is it's not an either or question, right? There is a use case to use a crowdfunding platform and there is a use case to use payment gateways on your site. It's about choosing the right tool for the right objective. So let me start off by saying what crowdfunding is not, right? Crowdfunding is not a crowd of random people waiting to donate to you. It is not a bunch of people who are going to come out of nowhere and start donating to you just because you have put up a campaign on a crowdfunding platform. However great your campaign, however great your cause, however much your impact, you know, it is not a case that random people come and donate to you. If that were the case, every project on this planet will get funded, right? If random people came and donated to us, but that is not the case. So what is crowdfunding? And I will go to Wikipedia for the definition of crowdfunding. Let us read it together. Crowdfunding is the practice of funding a project or venture. In our case, it is raising donations for our projects and activities by raising small amounts of money from a large number of people, right? Very simple. Small amounts of money from large number of people. That's what crowdfunding is. So you can do this on crowdfunding platforms. You can also do this on your own website, right? All of y'all who have payment gateways on your website, you are raising small amounts of money from individual donors, hopefully large number of donors, but definitely smaller amounts of money, right? And so the key question for us is how do we decide? When should we use a crowdfunding platform? When should we use our website? And to use on the website, you need a payment gateway, right? So the real question is, should I run a campaign on a crowdfunding website platform or should I run a campaign through my website using a payment gateway? So how does crowdfunding actually work? That's important to understand on crowdfunding platforms. Who's giving to you? The social network of the fundraiser is the one who's giving to you. It is one person who starts the chain and reaches out to their social network. The second chain reaches out to their social network, and so on and so forth, and getting more and more people to contribute towards that cause. But very, very fundamentally, crowdfunding, as in today's way, works when an individual reaches out to their own social networks to actually raise money. That's what crowdfunding is about. Right? So very simply reaching out to social networks, and by social networks, we don't mean Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn necessarily, but real world networks, friends, family, batchmates. Yes, in today's world, we often refer to this in the online internet medium far more than the offline medium. But reaching out can anyway be offline. The transaction is what happens online. So as a result of that, we are basically talking about reaching out to the social network to raise money. This has been happening from a long time. It's not something new. The internet is new, raising money online is new. But this has been happening from a long time. If any of you all remember, in Times of India, we used to get an ad asking us to support cancer patients. That yet comes. That's also a form of crowdfunding, right? Raising money. Yes, in that way, they were raising from a crowd, but that requires advertising, that requires investments. We're not talking about that. We're talking about how do you do it in a manner which is much more organic, much more intrinsic to you as an organization. So let us start by understanding what are some of the key differences when it comes to raising money on crowdfunding platforms and raising money on your own website using a payment gateway. So the first question is, who is raising funds? Who is raising funds on the crowdfunding platform? Is it the organization? Is it the donor? Who is it? Right? So before I ask this question, let me run our second poll. Have you raised funds on a crowdfunding platform as an individual or as an organization? Who has raised money? Have you raised it as an individual or have you raised it as an organization? We'll give another 10 seconds for everyone to get in their answers. Fantastic. So I'm going to stop the polling now and share with you the results. This is very, very interesting, right? Amongst people who have raised money using a crowdfunding platform, 90% of that, right? So 41 people have raised money using, 90% of you have raised it as an organization, not as an individual. And this is a very common mistake that we all do. This is a very common mistake that we all do in terms of using a crowdfunding platform. But in reality, the person raising money on a crowdfunding platform is an individual. And it is an individual. And why does it work for an individual? It works for an individual because an individual has social networks. An individual has friends, family, colleagues, batchmates, people that they can reach out to. Organization doesn't have a social network. Organization has donors, organization has volunteers, organization has supporters. They don't have a social network. So a crowdfunding platform enables you to maximize your donations using a social network. And thus, when you are an organization, you would raise your donations using your website, not using a crowdfunding platform. It's for individuals, right? Now, who is giving? We established that. The social network of the fundraiser is giving in case of a crowdfunding platform. It is people who are known to that person who are giving. On the website, it's your own loyal donors, committed donors, volunteers, supporters, and so on who are giving. People who know you, most likely already have heard of you, already know you, are the ones who are giving out there. Right? So these are what I will call as loyal, committed donors. Next, why is a donor giving on a crowdfunding platform? Very, very important question to understand the motivations behind giving. What is the reason that a donor gives on a crowdfunding platform? The reason that a donor gives on a crowdfunding platform is because his friend asked for it. Very, very simply, right? They trust in the fundraiser. That is the only reason they give on the platform, right? So this is something that will be available, and this is the reason why a donor is giving. And I will come a little bit more in the next slide to talk about what is the implication of the fact that the donor is giving to the donor on the fundraising platform is giving to the fundraiser. And the fundraiser alone, please note my words on this. While on your website, he is giving because he believes in your organization, he believes in your cause, he believes in your approach, he believes in the people running the organization to do a good job and satisfy and solve problems that are coming up or are getting affected. So the fact that a donor is giving because a fundraiser is asking versus a donor giving because they are connected with the cause, what implications does that have on how much people give? In case of crowdfunding, it is what I call a gift budget. Donors are giving because their friend is asking. That is the only reason they are giving. They are not giving for the cause. Please understand that. They are giving because their friend is asking. So it is a gift budget. It's like I am raising money during my birthday, during my parents' death anniversary, during my wedding anniversary, during my child's birthday. And instead of asking for a gift, I'm asking somebody to donate. There's a reason, but it has nothing to do with the cause many times. Sometimes it does have to do with the campaign. It does have to do with, you saving animals or you saving the environment, but irrespective of the campaign, your donor is giving because that friend is asking. Today, if his friend is asking for children, he will give. Tomorrow, if his friend is asking for saving the climate, he will give. The cause is secondary. It's not primary. Right? Obviously, if you ask money to go, to go on a honeymoon, you'll probably not get it. Right? But if as long as you're asking for a cause, the cause actually does not matter. Right? But in case of website, you are getting out of what I call as a philanthropy budget. This is the budget that consciously or subconsciously, I am not saying everyone has it in their mind, but they do have a sense of how much they can give. And a philanthropy budget, mind you everyone, is much, much larger than a gift budget. You may give somebody 500 rupees or 1,000 rupee gift on their birthday. But when you think about a donation, you're probably going to think much higher. You're most likely going to think much higher. And this is coming out in evidence across what is the average amount that a donor gives on a crowdfunding website, 2,500 rupees. If you go to most crowdfunding websites, they will actually indicate to you to donate between 2 to 2,500 rupees. Because that is the average amount a donor will give on a crowdfunding website. But on your own website, which is your committed donor giving for your cause from their philanthropy budget, that number is 5,000. This is something that I have seen in my experience over the last 12 years, first with Give India and today even with Dana Mojo. The average donation of donors who are giving for a cause on an NGO's website is 5,000 rupees, right? Another difference. So you want to prompt them for the right amount, right? We discussed this in the last session, saying what's the right amount to ask for a donor, right? You don't want a 5,000 rupee donor to give you 2,500 rupees, and the same donor can give both based on what you ask. Furthermore, evidence from data and research talking about how cause donors will always give more. So this is carried out obviously in the US. You can see the dollar figures by an organization called Network for Good, and they found that a branded giving page. So they call it a branded giving page because it can be either on the NGO's website or you can have a page which has the logo and looks like a lot more like the NGO's website. A branded giving page gets 28% higher average donation compared to portal giving. Portal giving is a place wherein you, along with many other organizations, are present with your causes, and everyone is trying, getting donations. But this number is 56% more compared to peer-to-peer giving. Peer-to-peer giving is another word for crowdfunding, right? Because it's a peer-to-peer. So I am asking my peers, my friends, family to give. It's called peer-to-peer giving also. It is 56% more compared to peer-to-peer giving. Now look at the other difference, right? So like I said, peer-to-peer giving or crowdfunding is not cause giving. It's not donation giving. And as a result, the average ticket size is 95%, is $95, sorry. But portal giving is yet cause giving. And already out there, the average ticket size increases to $116, right? So it's a lot more higher. Now, why is portal giving yet lower than branded giving pages? Because on portal giving, people are most of the time coming to discover where they want to give. They tend to be a lot more of first-time donors. So first-time donor is likely to give lesser. But as he becomes a committed donor and as he believes in an organization and a specific cause and a specific organization, that number jumps up to $148, right? So this is the beauty about you having a payment gateway on your own website and why that will increase donation and why that's the best way to go about it, right? Now, does that mean portal giving and peer-to-peer giving are to be ignored? Not at all. We have to leverage them, and we will talk about how we have to leverage both of these towards an idea which will help you get more loyal donors. The other challenges, the other differences that are there, and I might almost say challenges for an NGO, is that campaigns on crowdfunding platforms are time bound. They are for a fixed duration of time. The link expires after a while. Then what will you do? Right? You have sent one link out to all your friends, family, all your donors. After some time, the link expires. Some donors we know also opens up mails after 3 months. And they want to make a donation, but they can't because the link has expired. Somebody has made a donation today, 1 year later realizes on their own that, hey, I made a donation, felt good, I want to do it again. They'll probably find your email, click on it, but there is no way to donate. Right? So, can we ensure that our work is not time bound, our work is not constant, our work is ongoing, and so should our fundraising be constant, ongoing, always. It doesn't stop, right? You want to enable, you may run campaigns for a fixed period of time for some time, but you don't want to have a situation wherein when a donor wants to give, you have no way to collect. That's the worst thing that can happen to you, right? Because you've lost a donor, and a donor is uninterested. Like, if it's so difficult to give, I don't want to give. Remember, most people just do this 2 times, right? They are only looking at raising money twice. So in 2 minutes or 3 minutes, and not more than that. right? So you want to ensure that you are able to collect that money whenever the donor is willing to give. Crowdfunding platforms tend to be more expensive as well. They will generally charge anywhere between 5 to 20%. And I will explain why this is 5 to 20% before everyone jumps out of their chairs. While on your own website through a payment gateway, you can collect 2 to 5%. So I know most crowdfunding platforms charge no platform fee, but what they do charge yet are payment gateway charges. These range from about 2 to 5%. And they also ask donors to leave a tip. Leave a tip for the platform, right? A convenience fee, a gesture of good faith, anything they feel, any amount typically, but suggested amounts range from 5 to 15%. And it is quite hard, mind you, to not leave a tip. To leave a tip takes 1 click, to not leave a tip takes 3 to 4 clicks. So as a result of it, 60 to 70% of donors automatically leave a tip. Also because they don't mind doing it. Not at 20% levels, but yes, at least around 5 to 10%. Now, can you get this money? Because donors will want to give to the cause. They don't want to give to platforms. They don't want to give to other sites. They want to give to you. So when you do it on your own website, you can set up a system where you can get additional donations from your donor of this 5 to 15% by saying, can you cover our transaction charge, of say 2-3%? Can you cover our overheads of maybe 5%? Can you cover our administrative expenses of another 5%? Things like that, right? And you will be surprised how many donors are okay with it. At Dana Mojo, we offer this feature, and one of our NGOs which has taken it, roughly about 60 to 70% of their donors are covering this transaction charge. So as a result, they are reducing their transaction charge by 60 to 70%. So this is something that you can also set up on your payment gateway sites and ensure that you get this money. Why are you giving it away to the crowdfunding platforms? Why are you allowing it to go away? So in summary, my point is it is not advisable for a non-profit organization to raise donations from their own donors using a crowdfunding platform. And let's summarize this with what we've learned so far. Individuals have social networks, organizations don't. So it doesn't work as much. Or you are just sending your own donors to the crowdfunding site. So whether you send them to the crowdfunding site, you send them to your own site, they will donate. You are most likely not going to get anything new. Again, this is proven. More than 90% of donations that you get from a crowdfunding platform are your own donors. Maybe 90, maybe 95%. Your donor knows you. They may not know a third-party platform, right? So they know you, they trust you, they don't mind giving to you. But are you willing to take the risk of directing them to another platform which they are not aware of? And then issues of data security, privacy, managing that information also come in. In the process, you could also lose a donor because remember, crowdfunding platforms run many campaigns. A donor could easily move on to another campaign. A donor will start getting mails about other campaigns. So you could lose your donor as well. Like I mentioned earlier, you are raising money always. You need money always. Your programs are ongoing. So allow your donor to donate anytime, and more than that, every time he wants to donate. And the last and most important thing, why pay more? You may be thinking that you're paying only 2 to 5% or 2 to 4% on a payment gateway platform, but that's not the case. Because your donors are giving more, they're just not giving it to you now, they're giving it to the platform. Can you keep the money can you get this money from the donor? Because donors are willing to give 5-10% extra. Very much willing to give if you're asking for it. We've seen that behavior now. So this might make you think, should we not use a platform at all? Should we not use any crowdfunding platform? No. Where do you use a crowdfunding platform? In what scenario? You use a crowdfunding platform to get new donors from existing donors, volunteers, or supporters by turning them into champion fundraisers. This is what a crowdfunding platform is meant for. It is meant for your donors, volunteers, supporters, staff members, board members to raise money and their individual capacity, for you as an organization by reaching out to their social networks. And if y'all were there in the presentation that we had, in the webinar we had on Dana Circle, creating your own giving circle, we talked about how each of these people could have donor lists of at least 5,000 donors and how they could leverage that to become donors for your organization. So who is a good champion fundraiser? How do you identify? I think one of the biggest thing is someone who's been a supporter for a long time. Doesn't matter if he's a donor or a volunteer or a supporter in any other form. He should have been around for a while. He should have a large social network, but I think everyone has about 5,000 people in their network. But you probably want to invest with people who you know have social networks also, who are willing to pay, right? So somebody with a large social network, friendly, approachable. Yeah, we all like that. Somebody who's willing to ask their social network for money. The most important trait, right? And has enough credibility in his community, in his network, for other people to also give him money. It takes time and effort. It's not as if you just put up a campaign on the site and things will happen automatically. It takes time and effort, but again, not a lot. I mean, maybe an hour or two every day after the initial setup. You got to send out, requests to your networks. You got to help make that happen. You got to send them text, post. You got to remind people. You got to remind them again and make sure the donation happens. He should be someone who believes in your organization, believes in the vision and mission of the organization, and is a representative of your organization. You would like such a person to be a representative of your organization. And you need to provide a lot of support to your champion fundraisers as well. This doesn't happen automatically. You need to motivate them to become champion fundraisers. You need to inspire them to become champion fundraisers. You need to train them to become champion fundraisers. You need to support them in their fundraising effort. What do you do for that? Photos, videos. Provide them with a lot of marketing collateral that they can use on the crowdfunding platform page. They can use to send in other ways, whether it's via WhatsApp, Facebook, any other way. Give them a great story, something that they will put down on the platform. Now, this is the most important thing. You may believe that people, are creating their own posts, but a lot of time this is created by a team of the NGO for the champion fundraisers. Because it takes time to do some of this, but if you create something ready-made and give it to people, they will go out and raise money on their own. Then they will put it out. It's much faster. It's often said that editing is much faster than creating. Creating takes a lot of effort. Starting, you need momentum, right? A lot of effort. But if it's somebody already given in a manner fit for a WhatsApp message, in a manner fit for a Facebook post, in a manner fit for a Twitter tweet, people can send it out a lot more easily. They will do that then. They will make the little modification, put their link, put a little editing. That always works. But asking them to just do it, saying, please put it on Facebook, please send it via WhatsApp, doesn't necessarily work as well. Some people will yet do it, but most people will falter at that step. You need to train people in this aspect of fundraising. Updates, providing them with regular updates in terms of what's happening with the organization, what's happening with the fundraise effort, how far have they reached in their campaign. And the most important thing, ensuring that the donor who has donated, all their queries are sorted. Check out the pages, check out the fundraising pages of your champion fundraisers. Make sure there are no queries which are left unanswered. Make sure that your thank you mails are going out within a couple of days. Make sure your ATG receipts are going out quickly. Make sure the donor is taken care of very well and has a great experience in this process. And this is a very, very important thing to do, right? It's not only about providing that level of service, but engaging with your champion fundraisers, showing that you as an organization are supporting them. And there is another benefit as well, which I will come to later. There are many different avenues and ideas for champion fundraisers to run social fund, what I will now call as social fundraising, right? Because this is coming from a social network. So we'll refer to it as social fundraising. I feel crowdfunding is a very wrong terminology. It generally tends to depict as if you'll get money from a crowd. So we'll use something called social fundraising. Various kinds of events and avenues in which you can raise money. One is formal events. These could be sporting events. Marathon has become a very, very common, famous way of raising money. So taking on that idea, there are walkathons, there are cyclothons that are happening. NGOs are organizing their own thing. They're participating in what is already there. If you are an organization which can't organize, participate. Encourage your champion fundraisers to participate in some of this and raise money. This has become a very accepted form of fundraising, a very normal form of fundraising. So you'll find it easier to also tell people to fundraise for this. Apart from this, there are giving challenges. These are challenges where matching donations are given. Global Giving runs a challenge. We at Dana Mojo ourselves run a challenge. And these are different ways in which, while your fundraisers are raising money, they can also get matching grants. Right? So formal events are those which are typically done by a third party. Informal events. What are the different kind of informal events you can think of? These could be weddings, birthdays, anniversaries, any other kind of event which could be interesting for somebody to raise money. It's associated with a personal event or a personal thing in the fundraiser's life. And people participate on their own terms in terms of their stretch whenever they want to do it. But it is something that is available to them. Why is it important, right? So I talked about saying, please take care of these donors. These are new donors. They are coming to you not because of your cause, because of a champion fundraiser. If a champion fundraiser raise money for another organization, they will donate to that organization. So they are coming to you here for your cause, not for anything else. Right? So please understand that and have a plan to convert these crowdfunding donors to cause donors. And we saw the importance of doing that. The importance of doing that was towards ensuring that you get now not their gift budget, but their philanthropy budget. So what can you do to make that happen? Like I said, first thing, make sure you thank them. Very, very important. Send out a series of communication, maybe once a week, once a month, whatever you're comfortable with. This in common marketing terminology is known as drip communication. You send drips, small pieces of information on a timely basis, continuous basis. Introduce your organization. Talk about why you have formed the organization, what is the reason behind it. Share your story, the founder story, the organization story. Talk about your cause. Highlight a beneficiary story. Why what you're doing is important. How is it changing the world? How is it changing the life of one beneficiary? How is it changing the life in the village? Highlight a story to talk about your cause. Don't just talk about your cause in broad sense, right? Highlight your impact as well. And then most importantly, once you've done all this, right? Once you've tried all this, you've done this, let's say over a period of a month, 5 mails sent a week apart, then you ask them for a donation and try to make a crowdfunding donor a cause donor. Because remember, when a crowdfunding donor becomes a cause donor, you get philanthropy budget, not gift budgets, right? Which are double in size. So your donation can increase. Even if half the donors give to you, you're going to raise the same money because, and this is very important, this process, not just to get more money, but to make this donor your donor, not just the contact of your colleague or your champion fundraiser. Because if the champion fundraiser doesn't ask for money next year or in the next cycle, this donor is not going to donate to your cause. He is engaged, he believes, he trusts his friend who's the champion fundraiser. If you as an organization do not make the effort to convert that donor from a crowdfunding donor to your cause donor, you're going to miss out on that donation next year. You will then continue to be dependent on your champion fundraiser. And if he doesn't raise money, you are not getting this donor. That is why very, very important to allow and make this effort of a transition for every donor from a crowdfunding donor to a cause donor. So now to collect donations online on your website, like we discussed, saying the best way for an NGO is to collect donations on their website for their own donors, right? New donors is what you use crowdfunding for. Own donors is where you use your website for. You need a few things to be in place. One, a payment gateway, right? Charges about 2 to 5% based on what options you select. Two, you need a hosting provider, which is you need a server, you need a database where your code will lie, where your integration will be there. You also need an email marketing platform if you're planning to send these updates that we talked about, this communication. You need a website developer who puts all of this together, right? I mean, all of these are available, but who's going to put it all together? Who's going to link your website with the payment gateway? Who's going to do that integration? Who's going to manage the entire process of showing multiple forms, screens, capturing data? A lot of stuff is required. Can range from anywhere from 15,000 to 1 lakh rupees for one time, and about a monthly cost before maintenance. Once you have technology, you need to maintain it as well. And the fourth thing is an operations team, accountant, CA, to manage legal compliance. Are you ensuring that all your donations are collected in the right way with the right set of information on an ongoing basis and coming into the right accounts? Are you sending out receipts to all your donors, right? And what is the cost of sending that receipt? Many times we feel that the only cost is the courier cost and the printing cost. But in reality, the biggest cost is the manpower cost. I hope that in this COVID world that we live in, many of you all have migrated to e-receipts and digital receipts, right? So if you have not, I would strongly urge you to do it to reduce your cost. But yet, there is yet a cost of manually creating an e-receipt, right? So this is something that will again cost you about 2 to 3,000 rupees. And I'm only assuming 10 to 20% of one person's time, right? 2 to 3,000 rupees is just that much. So all put together on a one-time basis, you're spending about 15,000 to a lakh, and about monthly, you'd land up spending about 10,000 rupees, right? If you are doing this in a compliant, proper manner on your own website, and it is integrated with your own website. So this is what you need to set it up. We saw that 67% of you all have already done it. So this is really for the other 1/3 of the audience which has not done it. And if you are using crowdfunding websites, please think about creating it on your own thing from a long-term perspective. Right. So with that, I'm going to open it out now for Q&A. You can also have, I'll answer any questions on chat first if we have any of them before we open it out to the audience. Okay. So there's one question, which is, what are the implications for crowdfunding and website in the context of FCRA IT amendments? So if you are accepting money if you are accepting donations directly on your website, obviously you have no implication. You have an implication if you are accepting donations from a crowdfunding platform, if the crowdfunding platform is solely a non-profit. If it is only a non-profit, then you can no longer accept FCRA donations from that platform. But if a crowdfunding platform is set up as an intermediary, as a for-profit initiative, which is raising money on your behalf and giving receipts on your name, then there is no problem. But if the crowdfunding platform is giving receipts in its own name and is raising money in its own name, then you cannot do that now under the new FCRA amendment. We can open it out for questions. And Namita?
Yeah, Dhaval, before the questions, I'm sending out the link wherein you can access the articles written by Dhaval regarding individual fundraising. Here is the link. You could just surf through and then look into the articles which Dhaval has written. After the Q&A, we have a presentation from my colleague Shubha. She would be taking you through the key features of Dana Mojo and how it can help you to get more donations. If in case you have any questions and you want me to unmute you, you could switch on your video and then raise your hand. I'll unmute you. You can go ahead and ask your questions in person to Dhaval.
So while people ask questions, I want to answer a few more questions that are coming up. So one of the questions that is coming up is, what about global giving? What is the, can we accept money? Yes, you can, because global giving is the donor giving you the money firsthand, and they are outside India. So they are not an FCRA donor. They are not re-granting in the Indian context. They are an American donor who is giving money first time into India. So as long as they are giving money to you directly, there is no problem with that. Can you repeat the FCRA and crowdfunding? The receipt is an NGO name, we can collect. Yes, that is correct. If the receipt is in your name, you can collect. I will allow the team to answer any Dana Mojo specific questions. I'll limit my responses to questions which are related to this topic. Okay. So the question is, we are told by, so global giving has currently been suspended for transferring donations to Indian NGOs. It's not that they will never be allowed, but I think they will work through the problem and they will try to resolve that.
Yeah, can I ask my question, Namita? Yeah. Yes. So, Dhaval, I just had this thing, whether there's any research which shows on a crowdfunding platform, if an organization has put up a campaign in addition to having their own website-based fundraising, what's the chances of new donors donating if it's not somebody else who has created the campaign? We ourselves do it.
Right. So I think it would be very difficult to get research, because the research would not know whether it's a new donor or an existing donor. Yeah. But basically, I can say anecdotally from conversations, both from NGOs as well as the crowdfunding platforms themselves. So first of all, the crowdfunding platforms themselves say that out of all fundraisers raised by people, whether it's individual or organizations, individuals are constitute about 50 to 70% of all fundraisers. So it's clearly a platform meant for individual fundraising. Second, when we've talked to organizations, they've clearly said that, some of them have said, 90% were their own donors. Some have said 95%. Some have said 1 or 2 new donors they got. Right. So the chance of getting a donor just because you exist out there, I think logically, if you have to look at it, itself is nothing, because there are hundreds of campaigns out there. Right? Why should your campaign get? And people do not come to crowdfunding platforms to browse through it and say, okay, today no one actually gets up saying, okay, now today I want to donate. Let me go to a crowdfunding platform and donate. They all donate because they got a link in their WhatsApp or their email or their Facebook Messenger and said, their friend said, please make a donation. And that's how they land up on a crowdfunding platform.
So I'd just like to share here that we raise on Global Giving, and we, in the last 2-3 years, we've had a totally unknown people who have given us.
Yeah, so Global Giving is not a crowdfunding platform only.
Yeah.
Global Giving is more like Give India. Also, apart from a crowdfunding platform, Global Giving also reaches out to donors to get you money.
No, they don't.
They do actually, because they do reach out to corporates, they do reach out to people, and they get traffic to their site.
Right.
So they do a lot of activity to get traffic to their site.
Yeah, that
they have gift cards, they send it out to people, they also have your updates which they put it out there. So they do a lot of work to try and get donations to happen. As a result, you do get money from Global Giving. So I think if you have it, it's great. But again, there are people who have fantastic experiences on Global Giving, and there are some people who do not manage to raise much on Global Giving as well. So,
So very quickly, initially you have to put in a lot of effort. Once you reach a certain, that's been our experience.
yeah,
Reach a certain stage, then the site works for you.
correct, correct.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah. Lakshya, please go ahead with your
Yes.
question. Yeah.
So I have one question is that we are currently fundraising on Milap and Give India platform. So what is the difference between Dano Mojo and other crowdfunding platforms?
So I'm not going to get into that. I think we have a session afterwards which talks about using Dana Mojo. But very simply put, Dana Mojo is not a crowdfunding platform.
Okay.
We don't have some site where people come and donate money. Dana Mojo is a payment solutions platform to raise donations on your own website. But we have a session coming up after this which explains this more in detail.
Yeah. Mr. Ajay, please go ahead with your question.
Yeah, myself, Ajay Paral from Nagpur, Maharashtra. Actually, we are means in past we had a network from this the Dana Mojo. So, just I would like to know what is the exact role the Dana Mojo can play in the fundraising, because in the last 4 or 5 years we could not get a single money from this the Dana Mojo platform. Means could not raise a single paisa. So I don't know what is the exact role of the Dana Mojo that play in the payment gateway.
Right. So again, I will, like I said, Dana Mojo is a payment solutions platform. It's a way to enable you to raise money, reaching out to your own donors. We'll talk more about Dana Mojo as a separately after this call. We have a session on what Dana Mojo can provide.
Okay, thank you.
Dhaval, we have a couple of questions on chat.
Yeah. Okay. But let's take any questions if we have anyone who wants to ask orally first. Okay. So foreign donors in a payment gateway on our website, foreign donors as well as Indian donors give. We have a question from Mr. Paul. How do you comply? Because the gateway will be redirected to the foreign donation from the gateway Indian account to the NGO. So you have to, if you are setting it up for yourself, you have to capture the nationality of the donor, and based on the nationality of the donor, redirect funds into either your Indian account or the FCRA account. Vasumati has a question: can Dana Mojo have a create a fundraiser options, and donors can create this and donate to us? Yes, so this is something that is there on our roadmap as well. We will look to have it, but we have interesting workarounds that some NGOs have adopted. We have one NGO which has had people who actually want to raise money, but they don't want to share, they don't want to reach out to their networks and say how many people have donated, what is the total amount raised. They don't want those features which a typical crowdfunding platform provides. So as a result of that, they use our platform and they create one page for every fundraiser and integrate one product on that page. So they are just able to do that very quickly in 5 minutes and get fundraising happening for individual people who raise funds. But yes, we'll also be looking to, we also have this on our roadmap at some point of time.
Yeah.
So we have a question from Lakshmi which says, what is the easiest platform for every donation with single step, and how we link that in our website? I think I cannot give you an answer to this question. This is, you have to experience it. What is easy for one person doesn't mean that it's easy for another person. Right? I think we have all the questions out here answered.
Yeah, Mr. Prakash has a question. Please go ahead and ask the question.
Yes, I'm Prakash here. Thank you, Mr. Dhaval, for enlightening on various aspects. My question here is a layman's question, like, we have an NGO, which is a non-profit making organization functioning since last 14 years. And we have never gone in for any crowdfunding yet. But I wanted to clarify whether the organization itself can host a website for crowdfunding, or the directors, since this is a voluntary service given by the directors themselves, have to individually open a payment gateway website to gather the crowdfunding or donors funding. Which will be the right step? I would like to be enlightened a little more in detail. Thank you.
I think very simple. If their directors are raising money for the organization in their individual capacity, the best approach would be to go and set up a crowdfunding page like we discussed. Right? You should set it up and do it through that mechanism, because they can use their social networks and donate through it. I hope that answers the question.
Yes, that is right. So the directors, when the NGO as such need not open a crowdfunding payment gateway or website. It can be individual directors who may open it.
No, so
on
you
behalf
will
of
have to
the
give your details to the platform so that the money can be routed to your organization. So the first person who does it with any platform will require you to register with the platform. And once you are registered with a platform, then other people can easily raise money. So you'll need a one-time registration at least with the platform. Okay, so can we raise money without FCRA from people outside India? No, you cannot, as long as they are foreign citizens. If they are Indian citizens residing outside India, yes, you can raise money. What should be the frequency to use crowdfunding route? For an organization, never. For fundraisers and individual fundraisers, anytime that they want to. Vikram has a question. What should be frequency to interact with our champion donors to make them cause donors? I think you've got to interact with them. You have to engage them first. Engagement takes various forms, right? You can be engaging over WhatsApp, you can be engaging over email, you can be engaging over Facebook. The more distant the medium of engagement, like suppose it's over email, it's not very intrusive. It can be once a month. Obviously, you should not be WhatsApping them every week or every day, because that's more direct form of interaction. But you would have to engage them first, and then you would know whether these people can be donors to your cause or not. Okay, so I have a very long question from Mr. Sanjay Mungi. I'm going to read out the question. Okay. So, Mr. Sanjay, you're talking about the new regulations which have not yet come into effect. The rules we are hoping will come into effect from 1st April. So only once they come into effect will we know what has to be done on that front. Till that, it's all speculation. So let's not get into that. And many times you get small ticket donations, but you don't know where these donors are coming from. It's not traceable. Yes, that is true. If you are not able to trace them, you'll have to classify them as anonymous donations. Every organization has a limit on how much anonymous donations they can get, and you can classify them accordingly. We also have a UPI QR code platform at Dana Mojo, which allows you to convert some of these anonymous donations into known donations if the donor chooses to part with their information. So beyond trying to get their information, there is really nothing else to do in terms of for you that you can do. Okay. What is the cap of receiving anonymous donation? So the cap for receiving anonymous donation is 1 lakh rupees or 5% of your total donations, whichever is higher. So that's you can receive 1 lakh or 5% of total donations. Total donation includes donations from all sources, grants from foundations, government, institutions, CSR, as well as individual donations. The total of that 5% you can use, or 1 lakh rupees, whichever is higher.
Well said that to collect donations online on your website, you need to have a payment gateway. But your challenge after that doesn't end. Like once you get a payment gateway, it's not the end. You need to focus on various other things as well, like the hosting provider, an email marketing platform, a website developer. and a lot of various other things as well, which can be only covered by a payment solutions platform. And Dana Mojo is India's first integrated payment solutions platform for NGOs. Just give me a second. So Dana Mojo is India's first integrated payment solutions platform, which is specifically designed for NGOs, and that allows you to be carefree and focus on your campaigns, and we will take care of all the other factors which is required for an NGO. So I'll walk you through all the benefits that we provide at our at Dana Mojo, and also the various platforms that we provide. So Dana Mojo provides an integrated suite of payment solutions for you. So based on your pattern of donors, you can select the platforms. We have three. One is the one-time donations, which is useful for your donors who want to make donations one time by coming to your website. The next is the recurring donations platform, which is also called as online committed giving platform. And this platform is very useful for your regular donors who always give to you. So they normally now would have to come every time to your website and make a donation. And what if they have something like a subscription, like they can select the frequency that they want, they can select the start date, end date, put in all the information, and then the donations keeps happening automatically. So that would be great time saver for them. So having a recurring donation option helps the donor in this way. Next is the anonymous donation, which is also called as a UPI QR code platform. And UPI QR code payment mode being the most convenient way of making payments today, it can be used for the donations as well. And this is very useful for your donors who want to make a donation to you, do a good deed, but want to remain unnamed. But hey, at Dana Mojo, we are not restricting to that. Like all the donations which are through UPI QR code can be made to, as non-anonymous also, if the donor wish to put in their details. And once they put in their details, they'll get a tax exemption receipt as well. And I'll explain you each of this platform in detail in the coming slides as well. So at Dana Mojo, as we said, we provide integrated solutions, which means everything that you need for fundraising will be provided under one platform. You need not go to various different vendors for each and every element that you need. So coming to the first one, which is choice, your donors will have various choice of your to choose from of your activities or the campaigns that you run, and you can showcase whatever ongoing activities that you have, the campaigns that you have on your website for the benefit of the donor. Coming to the compliance, we are 100% legally compliant. So we make sure that all the legal terms are understood, and we follow all the legal terms. And we also have a 100% legal compliant donor form as well, which captures all the details which is definitely required for an NGO. And at Dana Mojo, we provide both domestic and international payment options, which gives the convenience of various payment methods to your donors. And making it cost effective, we definitely help you reduce your operational cost with an instant ATG receipt that is sent to your donors as soon as they make a donation, and various other, you can say, elements as well. Now, the main thing is to communicate with your donors, and you can do that by two things that we have. One is the engagement campaigns that we run every month. So this helps to get donations from your own donors by 5 to 10%. And also, in case you want to send any newsletters, reports, or any updates on your ongoing activity, you can definitely do that by using the email marketing platform that we have. And integration with Dana Mojo is very easy because it's a simple HTML based code, and it just takes 2 minutes to do the integration on your website. And also, in case your tech team is not available, we do the integration for you. This is the example of the integration done on Wunsch website. And another USP with Dana Mojo is that the donor will remain on your website throughout the donation process. Like they are not redirected to any other website or any other link while making a donation. They remain on your website until they complete their donation, which is very important from a trust perspective. Like if they are not redirected anywhere, they will have more trust on your website that this is not something fishy or something like that. So it is very helpful in gaining the trust of the donor on your website while making the donation process. And we have onboarded about 900 NGOs across 30 states of India in the 5 years. I'll spare some seconds for you to go through it as well. So coming to our first platform, which is one-time donations platform, your donors will get multiple payment options like debit card, credit card, net banking, mobile wallets, and EMI option as well. They can choose from the various options available and make a donation to you very quickly. Coming to our next platform, which is the recurring donations platform. As I said, this platform is very useful in case you have committed donors. You can build up a list of committed donors and have this platform for you, which will give them the flexible frequency of choosing monthly, quarterly, weekly, daily, based on their preference. They just have to enter their start date, end date, fill in their information, and choose the option where they want to donate. And then that's it. The donations will keep happening until the time period that they have selected. And ATG receipts will also go to them automatically with every donations that happens. We also send in a notification in case the card has been expired. So that also helps you to keep a check on your subscription. And the main important thing is there's no additional integration effort required at your end to put this up on your website. We'll do it for you. Coming to our third platform, which is the UPI QR code platform. And as this is the mostly used, you can say, platform to make a payment normally also, and this also allows donors to make a quick donation. And in case they wish to have a tax exemption receipt, they can do that as well. If they want to remain anonymous, they can do that as well. And they can donate from any amount starting from ₹1 to ₹1 lakh. And also UPI QR code being very flexible, you can share this anywhere you want on any social media platforms, and you can use this in various patterns as well. Like you can share it on WhatsApp, you can use it in your email signatures, you can use it in your marketing collaterals, in your offline events, visiting card, brochures. So in this way, your donor doesn't have to come to your website to make a donation. Wherever they see the QR code, they can directly scan and make a donation. So they don't have to take the effort to come to your website to make a donation. And this is how it's very useful to you. As well, in this, there's zero additional integration effort required to integrate this once you have Dana Mojo as well. Along with this, we also have few value-added features such as branded QR codes, which can be scanned by a normal QR code scanner, and they can see the options that you have, activities, and make a donation to you. We also provide a dashboard which gives you detailed information on your donations, your payouts, your documentation. All the information will be stored in the dashboard, and you can view this at any point of time. Every month, we also send in a donation summary, which gives you detailed information about the donations that you have raised in the month. And also annual fundraising summary, which has complete details of the donations that you have raised over the year. So an integrated payment solutions platform, in short, offers you with a holistic solution, reducing your overall cost, time, and effort. And why we say that? Because of all the options that you see here is provided by a payment solutions platform only, and not a payment gateway. So you can even send receipts for offline donations that you get maybe via check or bank. We even have 0% transaction charge feature, which allows your donors to cover the transaction charge for you. At Dana Mojo, we also do a personalized one-on-one training to help you understand the features and make full use of the platform. We also do fundraising webinars, which has been obviously very useful for all the NGOs until now. We also do auto separation for your Indian and foreign donations in your respective bank accounts, which is obviously a very legal compliant need for an NGO. And another major thing that we have is phone support. So phone support is not provided by most of the payment gateways which are available, but we are happy to share that we also provide a phone support for any problems at any point of time that you have. Along with it, we also have a feature called as website monitoring, where we will monitor your website, and anytime it's down, it's not working, we'll inform you to correct it immediately, so you have it corrected, and your donors do not miss out when your website is down. So that's why we say that a traditional payment gateway will not fulfill all the solutions that is needed by an NGO, whereas integrated payment solutions will cover all the aspects that you need. So we offer pricing plans suited for all types of organizations. We have 3 plans: Standard, Advantage, and Premium. And we have annual subscription fees valid for 12 months that you need to pay. And for every transaction, there is a transaction charge. For all the donations that you receive, there's a transaction charge, sorry. We also are providing a waiver on the annual subscription fees in case you raise donations of the respective amounts for the plan that you have chosen. And we are also providing discounts on the first year subscription if you take in 2 platforms or 3 platforms. We'll definitely share this presentation with you so that you can go in detail about this. So the main key differences in the feature between the plan is that under premium plan, you would be getting 2 dashboard logins. You'll also get email marketing platform and one-on-one dashboard training under the Advantage and Premium. Whereas the standard plan, being standard, will not have these options. So Dana Mojo provides a very cost-effective solutions compared to any other traditional payment gateways. And I'll explain you how this is. So as Dhaval explained, you need to have a website developer who will, provide you with a technology, and you will pay around 15,000 for it. And then based on the technology that you have purchased, you will pay the monthly charge around 5,000 to 10,000. You'll also need to have a hosting provider, obviously, which comes with a cost. You will need to have a payment gateway. You'll need to have a operations team who is doing manual work of sending the receipts or the e-receipts. Obviously, some work goes into it, time and effort is taken. And also email marketing platform that you would use to send out your mailers to the donors who have donated to you. And all these elements are covered with the traditional payment gateway for about 15,000 to 1 lakh rupees. Whereas at Dana Mojo, all these elements are covered only under the range of 3,000 to 9,000 rupees. And hence we say that we are a very cost-effective solution, seeing the overall total cost, if you see, we are a very cheap, cost-effective solution. And coming to our new feature that we have introduced, which is the 0% transaction fee. So under this option, your donor will have an opportunity to cover the transaction charges for you. And we have also seen that 60% of the donors do wish to cover the transaction charges for the NGOs, because they understand how difficult for the NGO it is to have all the cost covered. I mean, they will have a lot of cost involved, and they will definitely help you out to cover all the additional charges that you have. And also you can set up your own transaction charge that you wish, which your donor can cover. For example, if you are under the premium plan and you have 2.9% transaction charge, you can even, add up a few percentage more, maybe make it 5%, maybe make it 8%. And you can mention a message to them that, hey, please cover my, admin expenses or overall cost, which will help me, in the running of the organization. And the donor will be very happy to do that as well. So we have catered a few features which is not provided by the traditional payment gateways. You can definitely go through it once we share the presentation. And in addition, we have also catered the differences based on the unique needs of an NGO, and I would like to highlight few of them again. So first thing is the time to integrate. Our integration only takes 2 minutes to integrate. And also we do the integration for you, which is not done by any of the payment gateway providers. Also, we provide phone support, which is of course not provided by any of the other traditional payment gateways available, and continuous monitoring of your website and informing you whenever it is down. So it helps you out to understand, okay, I need to correct it soon. We have also received recognition for our work with a few awards and accelerator programs. And we are a winner of NASSCOM Social Innovation Forum 2018. I'd spare some seconds for you to go through what our NGOs have to say about us. And if you want to know more about about Dana Mojo's payment gateway and wish to, register yourself, then you can definitely visit our website danamojo.org and fill in the inquire form, or mail us at care@danamojo.org, and our team will be definitely reaching you out to let you know more about our payment gateway, and also any queries that you have will be explained in detail.
Yeah, thank you very much, Shubha.
Just give me a second, Namita.
Sure.
The last thing that we have is that we provide a branded web page for the NGOs who do not have a website. But this is not just limited to the NGOs who do not have a website. Even the NGOs with website whose website is not mobile responsive, they can use this web page. And whenever your website is down or under maintenance, you can make use of this branded web page as well. So this is how overall you can get at Dana Mojo, covering all the aspects that you need. Yes, thank you all. I hope you have understood in detail what we provide at Dana Mojo. And in case you have any questions or want to know more on this, you can definitely reach out to us by filling the inquire form on our website, or mail us to care@danamojo.org.
Shubha, we have a question from Ashish. Mr. Ashish, please go ahead and ask the question. Ashish, can you hear us, please?
Yeah, actually, it's very good. I have one question that if Mahan wants to accept all the facilities provided by... Yeah, you are audible. Yeah, thanks to Dhaval,
Able
Namita,
to
your
hear you, sir. Please let me know.
whole team.
Namita, I'm
Of
not
Dana Mojo
sure
for very
if
good presentations. So,
I'm not sure if the network
Just,
issue for me.
Shubha, let's give him 1 minute. Looks like he's got a delay in the transmission.
Sure.
facilities or services. Is it not audible? Hello? Hello? Hello?
So
Hello, am I
your
not
voice
audible?
is actually breaking.
Hello?
It's not.
Hello? Am I audible now? Hello?
Yes, you are audible now, sir.
Okay. So thanks for the good presentation by Dana Mojo team, and thanks to Dhaval specially. I have one question that if Mahan wants to accept all the services provided by Dana Mojo, what is the charges for 1 year or subscription fee for 1 year, total fee?
Sure. So as I said, we have 3 plans: Standard, Advantage, and Premium, which I believe we have shared it with you as well. And you can go through the presentation which I have shared and definitely pick out the best option or the best plan for you. And based on the plan you have selected, you need to pay the annual subscription fees. And for the standard plan, it starts from 2,999.
No, but if you think which is the best plan for me, if I want all these three and which are the best plan, what will be the charges for a year?
So I would suggest you to go for the Advantage plan to begin with,
Okay.
where you will have all the options where you can upload your campaigns, you'll have dashboard training options, you'll have email marketing platform. You can definitely start with Advantage plan. And if you feel you are doing good on the donations, you can definitely upgrade yourself to the premium plan.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Sure, sir.
Yeah, thank you everyone for taking out time for this session. In case you are interested with Danamojo, kindly fill in the inquiry form on our website or the link which I'm sending across on the chat. Our coming up session, next session is on Jan 8th, and we are going to have something very interesting. We are having an external speaker, a story coach, and a consultant coming up to give you his tips and tricks regarding how we can compose story about our beneficiaries, how we can tell stories to the donor of what changes we have brought about in beneficiary stories, beneficiaries' life. I'm sure you all will be attending that webinar too. I hope this webinar has brought up some difference, some learning for your work. Also, Shubha, we have one question. Can you please answer that? Shubha?
Yeah. Sorry. So is it the where can I find more help on email marketing option?
Right.
Right. So I'm just typing out that for Mr. Surya. So sir, you can take up the dashboard session that we have to understand in detail about the dashboard and all the options that we have, so that it will also cover the email marketing platform for you to understand in detail. We also have email marketing, details on the email marketing platform. We had the webinar. You can definitely refer that as well to understand more on the email marketing platform. Namita, I would request you to share the link, maybe which Suryaji can refer.
Surya sir, all our webinar recordings are available on our YouTube channel. Request you to subscribe to the YouTube channel so that we get your daily your dose of fundraising as and when we have our webinars. So all our webinar recordings are placed in our YouTube channel. This is the link to our YouTube channel. Yeah, thanks for your time again, and we look forward to meeting you all in our coming up sessions. Thank you very much.